some of you who have, let's say your first time here, and then you previously before you bought like companies, I don't any kind of like companies that might not be doing that well, right? Or maybe some local companies like SIA, SPH, right? How I approach it is I don't look at like my portfolio. I don't look at it. And I shared this before. I don't look at it whether it's a profit or loss how much. Right. This is where you don't want to be affected by some cost bias, right? So I want to like make a count, right? Like right now the portfolio is how much? Let's say I started with 100K, and because of the losses, is now at let's say I lose half or 40%. Right now it's at 60K, right? So more important question is not I lose how much and how to recover it, but more like with the 60K, what is the best use of it right now to make as much as possible, right? Like right now, let's say you have 60K, doesn't matter you profit how much or lost how much previously, your objective, right, is only one, which is using the 60K or whatever the amount your portfolio is right now and to make as much money as possible, right? You do not want to make 40K to get back to break even. That is not like even in the next immediate goal. That's irrelevant, right? You want to make as much money as possible. So if that's the case, then what's the best use of that 60K? And then you structure it accordingly, right? So let's say, for example, if I started with 10K, all right, or 8K, and then because I invest in some crap companies and then lost money, and then it dropped, and then from 8K, I dropped down to 5K. So I will think, if 5K, what is the best use of it? If it's like investing in these companies as I shared over here, then I will just duplicate. So I will just sell everything, and I will use that, allocate the 5K accordingly to these companies, because this will give me the best results, right? In the long run, based on my own uh, thoughts and opinions, right? So you do not want to be anchored by some cost bias. Okay, so if you're investing for the future, then think about the future. Don't let the past anchor you negatively, right? So there will be, so some of you are asking about individual companies. Let's say instead of Tesla, you prefer NIO or NIO, or you prefer like ARK Invest or some of the ETFs. Sure, go ahead. Right. So definitely, like there's like a lot of good companies, good growth ETFs out there, right? And obviously, I cannot choose all of them, right? I can only choose one or a few. So these are just my choices, right? But if you feel like ARK ETF might outperform QQQ ETF, then sure, go ahead, right? So there's no right or wrong here. Again, just go with what you're comfortable with. I think that's more important. Right. And also, someone is asking about tranches. So yeah, you can use tranches also. So you don't have to all in 5K. You can all in 40K, and maybe you can put. So maybe all these add up to 90%, and then you have like maybe cash, and this is maybe 10%. Also can, right? And then or 20% are odds or whatever it is. So you can do like 70, 30, 60, 40, whatever is the percentage you want to hold, and then you can, as it drops more, you can top up. But also because 5K is quite a small amount, so there's not much difference if you just all in, yeah. So the way I look at it is, if I really start at 5K, right, I'll just all in right now. And also because like, if you do a bit of market timing, right now is where the tech companies kind of drop, all these companies drop, I think 20, 30%, or sometimes even more, right? And it's like a good time to load lah. So I'll just load all in 5K, right? And for further tranches, I will dollar cost average from my future top ups, right? So like from your salary or what, you might top up 20% or like $500 every month. I will use that for the future tranches. This 5K, I just want to all in right now. Right? This is just my personal preference. But if you think that you want to wait for a further job to enter more, sure. Then you can enter like half or 60% and then hold some cash to top up, to leg in more at a lower price. Right. Some is asking, is this a bear market? No. This is what I personally share, right? And I personally share like this year the market will just keep going up, and we are on track for that lah, right? So those of you who have been in the channel a while, my long term, or at least the next 2-3 years market outlook. All right. So and someone is sharing. So Hayden is sharing, right? You actually watched the my June video last year, right? And you did not uh, you did not tweak your portfolio, and then you hold, and then your portfolio went sideways. So yeah, I shared this in June. So this is the thing. The last thing you want is you watch this video, you do nothing, you did not revamp your portfolio, and then you just see how it goes. And then next year again, when we're doing the 5K template for 2022, all right, and then some of you might have regrets again. So Yeah, it's really I do what I can, which is just to share. All right, so you need to do what you can now, which is put in the homework and take out Excel spreadsheet or take out a pen and paper and some numbers and plot and what are your action steps after tonight. All right, like are you going to sell some of your bad companies to tweak it around? When? All right, if not, you just waste 30 minutes of your time also. Yeah. Right. So I'm just going through the questions one by one, and there's quite a bit of questions, and also some of it is very individual company specific. So I'm not sure if it will be valuable for everyone, but if you guys are okay for me to just hit continue, so I come to the end of my sharing already. Whatever I want to share really is just simply understanding yourself as an investor, right, and making sure your portfolio, don't choose the wrong roller coaster ride, lah, right? Make sure you are able to withstand, right, and your portfolio will do well. And this is just my own personal companies that I've chosen. You can definitely tweak it around however you want, right? You can mix it up. You want to have 100% all in on Tesla also can, right? So it's up to your personal preference. It's just that I can order. I go to Nasi Lemak store. I say, I don't want rice. I don't want chili. I just want 10 pieces of chicken wing. Can or can. So I'm like, all in a very a la carte way of like all in on Tesla. Okay, so there's one way you can do also. So that's the end of my sharing. I'll just go through the question one by one, right? But if you guys are okay with that, right, just type a okay in the chat box. So the next question, right, I'm at like 8. I'm at Jonathan Ong's question, right? Thoughts on Elon Musk recent BTC. So I think if you're a Tesla shareholder, right, I think there isn't any changes in terms of Tesla compared to what Elon Musk is tweeting. So you don't know what Elon Musk what are the moves he's thinking about. So for sure there might be something going on here. But he's playing like a 4D chess, right? Like he's thinking like 20 moves ahead, which you and I will not know also, right? So there's a lot of speculation, what's going on, don't worry too much about that. I have my own views on what is happening, but more importantly is so what? As long as it doesn't really affect the growth potential, as long as Tesla's just keep executing, then that's cool, man. He can do whatever he want in the free time. I don't really I don't think it affects Tesla that much. Be it you are a shareholder or yeah, that's just my personal thoughts on Tesla and Elon Musk. So I think to extrapolate on that also, right? I think it's very important, what news are you paying attention to, and what are the what weightage you give it. What news you should pay more. Like, is it important? Like, how does it relate? Like, for me, for example, Elon Musk, right? Last few days, the tweet on Bitcoin, all that. To me, I feel it's like it's almost a very negligible non-issue, right? So I don't really spend my headspace thinking about things that doesn't really matter, right? So and right now, right now, like with media, how they make money is they need to sell more. They need to be very clickbaity. That means they need to like a lot of fear, uncertainty, thought, right? Fear, uncertainty, and I don't know what. Like, and human beings, right? Uh, we are not wired, right, to receive bad news every day, all right? Like every hour, every minute on Twitter and so on and so forth. So it's not good for your health, and also not good for yourself as an investor, right? So um, think more long term. Like I will focus more on, in this case, right, Tesla fundamentals. Next quarter, for example, the real numbers, are they on track? The deliveries, is there any hold up? So that's the more important thing, right? Doesn't matter whatever is going on outside. All right. So next question, how to buy Bitcoin, right? So there is if you're using Think or Swim, you can buy the ETF, or there's this like I would say it's like something similar. It's called GBTC. That's the symbol, and I have that in my portfolio also. If you want to buy Bitcoin outright or any cryptocurrency, you can use there's different platforms available. I use Binance. You use Binance SG if you're Singaporean, or you can use Binance International also. Right? If you want to buy like those Dogecoin or like those shit coins or meme coins, right? Then you have to use Binance International. Yeah. So those of you who your portfolio is not set up optimally, you might want to reevaluate. So take out a blank piece of paper right now, and let's say right now. So don't look at what you currently have, but look at what is your ideal portfolio and put the amount here. That means right now your net worth, your what I have after losses and everything, like right now, what is it worth, right? What it used to be worth 1 year ago, 6 months ago, doesn't matter. What is worth right now, like this weekend, if it's worth like 53K, right? Then think of your ideal portfolio right now after this sharing. Hey, might be a good idea to shift some of my money to companies like this, for example. And then what will your ideal portfolio be like? You don't have to shift everything. I'm not asking, like when you move house, you don't have to move all in one day, you can move, you can spread across different weekends, right? So in this case, your portfolio you can spread out across different months because you want to get a sense of how the new portfolio will look like. So slowly start to shift. Like in this case, I got 40% on Tesla. And let's say you want to model this, you don't have to 40% immediately on Monday, right? You can have 10%, 15%, 20%, slowly increase up, right? And so slowly start to make the changes. So do it in a more progressive way. So Clay is asking if you're a back holder on lousy companies, it's best to sell and reinvest. Of course, it's better. Personally, like it's like a no-brainer. Why could not it be better? Then what could be better? Like continue to hold on to your lousy companies and pray, hope, you know, like, what I mean? Like, it's like, so what, even it got double and then you recover and then you break even. So what? Like break even is a overly overrated kind of, like, it doesn't matter. Like, for example, let's just go back last year, right? So just 12 months ago, right? Instead of, let's say you are in the same situation, right? If you just bought Tesla shares, you 8x or 10x already, right? It more than cover your break even, correct? Instead of like still waiting there, so this is how I think. So the thought process is very important. How the utilization of the money, what amount I have right now, let's say 53K, what is the best use of it right now? You realize my thought process does not include what I have right now, how much I lost previously, does it make sense? So because all this is in the past, right? I want to think about the future. The future means what I have right now, what are my assets, how to best utilize it, right? And thinking about how best to utilize the assets I have right now, it doesn't matter, what's the percentage returns I have or loss I have on the previous companies. It's moving forward that count. I mean, like that's kind of like, for me, it's like quite straightforward, right? So some of you who are not wired to this kind of thinking, you like, it's quite interesting. You might want to think a bit about it. Yeah. So again, these companies, right, is just buying the shares outright. For this sharing, I don't want to go into options and all that, right? So for my main portfolio and for the 100K portfolio showcase, I did like some deep calls on Tesla, and so obviously our portfolios last year we double, triple, quadruple. The returns will be more than just buying and holding the shares outright, right? But even you don't know about anything about options, don't know anything about lead costs, and just buy the shares and just buy and hold them, you will do not too bad also. So I'm just keeping this sharing like very, very just keep it very straightforward, right? So again, these companies, I mean, so from the kind of question that you asked, right, you also kind of know it's a good insight into what kind of investors you are. So if some of you asking, hey, maybe JD job so much, is it still a good holding? So you realize, right, when I'm looking at the company, I'm focus on the company, not the stock price fluctuation. So are you making a decision based on the company fundamentals, or are you making an investing decision based on the stock price fluctuation? Or are you anchored by the last few weeks of market fluctuation? Right? So this is where understanding yourself as an investor is very important. Right. So someone is asking about Tesla sales in China. So there's a lot of rumors, news, fake news. I will wait for the official news from what they. So from what I know, Tesla doesn't release the exact amount of deliveries or sales they have from China. They release it as a whole. And in my opinion, they don't have. And some people are saying, "Hey, but Tesla never clarify to step out to clarify all this speculation." So in my opinion, it's not in their, they don't have to do that. Like the market want to speculate, go ahead. Doesn't have to do with nothing to do with Tesla. Like if I'm in Tesla, I just want to focus on, my company. Like uh, speculation, rumors, people can say whatever they want. They want to manipulate the market, stock price, whatsoever. I'm just focusing on the company itself, right? So this is Tesla approach, right? So and I think that is the right approach. So I personally, I'm not um, concerned, all right? I wouldn't say I'm very concerned with all these like news out there, right? So knowing where to get your information, right? I think it's a very, very underrated point also. So those of you, right, who is kind of deciding, what's the best price to buy? There isn't really a best price to buy. The best price is when you got money to put in, right? And you can give a bit of discount. So for example, some of you learn the tranching in my portfolio management modules, right? The tranching way. So for example, you can set it this way. So Tesla, okay, maybe I use okay, because it's a 5K portfolio, you buy one share, like over here, you can only like buy 4 share or what. So if you want to spread it out, you can buy like, so this is about 4 or 5 shares. Let's say it's like 500 plus right now, or 3 shares, right? You can buy one share now, right? Another one share at, what's that stock price right now? Anyone? And maybe wait for it to drop to 550, right? One share, the third share. So this is the third share at, so you just average down, all right? So one share now, I think it's about 600, right? The thing with this, right, is you risk missing out also. What if it doesn't drop to 550? Then you only got one share. Then your portfolio is super light. And you're holding so much cash, right? Can you imagine like last year March crash, right? And you don't know when's the crash, but you just got all in, right? So let's say okay, so let me just quickly share my screen. So let's say this is the last year, this is a March crash, right? Like even if you don't know when is the bottom price, when's the best price, you won't time it to the exact bottom at $700 and $170. This Q ETF, right? But even you just average down along the way, you will do well also. The worst thing you can do is, you buy maybe a bit, but you think it will go lower because every day is dropping 10%, right? I just need to wait tomorrow, it's 10% cheaper. And then you wait, and then you never load 100%, and then the market went up. And then, yeah, so you got some holdings, maybe 30% or half or whatsoever. And then you are left holding 50% cash in the bull run. So this is what not to do in the next job. So right now, tech companies drop quite a bit already, right? At least the good companies, right? The innovative companies. Personally, I'm in quite all in already. I cannot really recommend what you should do or should not do. It really depends. Like I cannot recommend you to eat nasi lemak set A or set B. It really depends on your own diet, right? I also cannot recommend you which roller coaster you should take because it's really up to you, right? But I'm just sharing what I personally will do for myself, right? So right now I'm in kind of all in. My portfolio is all in. I would say some of you guys are kind of all in also, right? Which I think is fairly okay, right? So again, why does it matter? Because 1 year ago, right, if you were to be buying on the way down, this is like I think late March or what, it looks super scary, right? But you will zoom out just 12 months later, I forgot about the ride really. I forgot about the scary roller coaster ride 12 months ago during March, right? So same right now we have this last few weeks a bit of crash, right? Those of you who are already all in or kind of all in, then already like mostly all in already, maybe you're holding left a bit of cash. I think it's fine. The remaining cash, you want to think like when are you going to deploy it? Those of you who are new, and you did not enter at all, now will really be a good time. Like like you missed last year the COVID bull run, right? Do you want to miss the next 12 months bull run again? I don't know, right? So this is just something for you to consider, lah. All right. Okay. So that's I think that's really all the questions, right? One last question: how long are you planning to? Someone is asking how long do I plan to continue holding Tesla shares? As long as the company fundamentals doesn't change, like it's still growing, and hitting the KPIs. Right now, their output in terms of the car deliveries, they're growing at about 80 to 100% year on year. So as long as they keep hitting that, there's no like slow down in execution. So like if I hear news like, oh, the Berlin factory slow down because for whatever reason, there will be some reason why the factory cannot open, the car delivery slow down, then there will be cause for concern. But assuming everything is on track, and right now I think I would say pretty much the important stuff, everything is like running seamlessly, right? So everything is on track, then it's still the best place for me to put my money. So as long as everything is on track, I'll just put my money there. Secondly, of course, if I find a better company than Tesla to, like if I find something better than nasi lemak to eat, right? Then I don't eat nasi lemak already, I eat the new thing, right? So same lah. If I find a better growth company that I think has those of the risk reward potential, can give me more upside, for less volatility, less risk, then sure, I might switch over some of my portfolio there. All right. So until I find a better company or until the company fundamentals change. If not, then Tesla is still the best, in my opinion, the best. Uh, like you can't, there's worst thing you can do putting your money elsewhere besides Tesla. That's what I would say. Right. So Calvin Cole is asking, your portfolio of 30K all in already. Now tech stock dropped a lot more. Is it okay to take on some margin? So margin, right, is ongoing leverage is something that I won't recommend for sure. It's just like you asking me, hey bro, right now I'm driving on a straight road, at the speed limit, but in front there's no car. Should I increase my speed and break the speed limit a bit? Well, how to answer you, bro? So so I would say no for sure. All right. So this sort of thing is, when it comes to speed limit, right, it's like some of you drivers will know, like if you go past the speed limit, you don't have to ask one. Either you are like rule by rule, law by law person, you don't go past the speed limit ever, or you go past a bit, but you know what you're doing, and the risk of you getting a car accident have not increased, right? So if you know, then great. If you need to ask, like your partner, hey, actually, if I know road, should I increase the speed a bit to go past speed limit just a bit? If you need to ask, then the answer probably is no. So that is an answer in itself, lah. Okay, yeah. All right. So, yeah, might not be the best analogy, but I hope you bring the point across. So just think of it this way: if you need to think about whether you should go leverage, right? Like using the driving example, if you think about like, what should I go past it? Usually the answer is no. And um, the risk reward, right, of you going past the speed limit is not really that much. What you get to your meeting 5 minutes earlier, but the risk of you dying in a car crash or getting a fatal accident, is it worth it? So if you go a margin, right, you might think it's safe, but what if you get a margin call and then you're busy at work, and then you lock in your account and then you didn't know you get a margin call and then they might sell a Tesla shares at the worst possible time. So these are uncertainty that you do not want to have, and it's not worth it, right? So just stick to the basics, so this is the thing. Like everyone want to try to optimize as much returns as possible. Like who doesn't, right? But if you just keep to the basics, like last year, if you just hold this innovative template right over here, you just hold it for the last 12 months using 5K, you make like more than 2x, more than double your returns, right? And this is like no leverage, no lip calls, no options, no nothing, just buy and hold the shares, right? And of course, if you top up along the way, then your returns will be more in terms of the dollar value, right? So keep things simple, don't overcomplicate things, right? Just get the basic right first. Yeah, I think that will be a good start for most of you guys. Okay, all right. So that's it for the sharing. I'll upload this later for those of you who came in late and missed the earlier part, right? And if there's any question I missed, so sorry about that, right? Ask in the group chat because there's a lot of questions and I can't possibly cover them all. So I pick some questions to selectively pick some questions, right? But I hope you guys find this sharing useful, right? So the next time, maybe next week, right, I'll be doing a market update, right, and a market outlook for after this job, right? But a short sneak preview will be, I think this will be close to the bottom in terms of the drop. I could be wrong, definitely, right? My crystal ball sometimes also spoiled one, but I think we are close to it. Those of you who are holding cash or large amount of cash, if you're holding like you're 90% invested and you're holding 10% cash, if you just want to keep the 10% cash there as like a buffer, forever it's just buffer, I won't touch it. You can think about is that the best way to use the money, but if not, it's fine also. But if you're holding large amount of cash, then you might want to consider this as it's a really a good opportunity to load up, right? So just my sentiments. Okay, all right, that's it for today. All right, I hope you guys find this sharing useful. All right, how many of you find it useful? Hey, I actually could have went out on a with my friends today, last day of work from home, last day before going to work from home, but I choose to stay at home to share with you guys. All right, so hope you guys find it useful. All right. So again, any questions? All right. Ask in the group chat, and I'll see you until next time. All right. Bye, guys. All right, and have a good week ahead. Stay safe. All right. Revamp your portfolio if you need to. Understand yourself as an investor. We watch the video later if you need to refresh. All right, and try to think about like moving house. Like your portfolio right now is a mess. How can I improve it? Like to a better portfolio for yourself as a give you better returns. Right. See you guys.